Hello everyone, welcome. I'm Mr. Pestridge. Welcome to another P3D Virtual Pilot Life video, and this one is a little bit different. Just passed my instrument rating license, and so I can fly, day or night in any weather. We're here still in India. I've rented a Cessna. We're going to do a flight in the next video, but I thought I'd just go over basically the instrumentation panel. What each of these mean for the aircraft, what they do, and kind of almost like not a lesson, but sort of an explanation of the instruments that you'll find in an aircraft. Now, one thing to note is that every aircraft, no matter what you're flying, has kind of like 3 basic instruments that are all the same, maybe 4. Actually, probably about 6 that are all the same. No matter what flight, if you're flying a jumbo jet, if you're flying, a 787 or a 172 like we're flying here. And it's these 6 here in the middle that basically represent an instrument that you'll find in some form or another, some variation of every single aircraft. And once you know and understand each of these instruments, what they do, these 6 here, then pretty much A, you can fly any aircraft, but B, it really does put you in a pinpoint position in the globe of a 3D environment where you can understand where you are, what your plane is doing, and help you to be a better pilot. So let's get started. Now, I will explain really more. There'll be 7 instruments I'm going to be explaining, but where the focus is on the 6, and it's called the Big 6. And what a pilot is trained to do, really, is scan these 6 instruments really quickly and give yourself almost like a mind's eye visualization of what your aircraft is doing if you don't have visuals out the window, if you can't see anything because it's either dark or it's weather is completely clouded, fogged, whatever. You haven't got visualization, you haven't got a horizon line to look at, anything like that. So basically what these 6 are, so we're going to start with this one here, the airspeed gauge, and it has a lot of valuable data on it. In jets, you'll probably just find it as a number, but in general aviation aircraft, it'll be a gauge, and basically this represents how fast in terms of knots your plane is going. I don't think it's the ground speed, it is the airspeed, and they are 2 different things. Obviously, the higher you travel, the faster you travel over the ground, but this is the airspeed, so this is sort of working out the speed that your aircraft is traveling through the air. And what this white line here represents is the safe operating speed for your flaps. Once you go beyond this point here, you don't want to be using your flaps because you're traveling too fast. They could rip off, you could damage them. The green line means basically this is the safe operating speed for your aircraft. The stall speed is indicated here, and then the maximum that you really want to be going is indicated here. Now, this yellow does mean you can actually go into that for short periods of time. It's kind of like a buffer, I guess, but the red line basically means if you hit this mark, your aircraft will begin to break up. The airframe cannot exceed 160 for this particular aircraft. The yellow, you don't really want to be going into that much. You want to be operating within the green. The airspeed indicator is a crucial instrument for telling you how fast you're going, and in combination with the other air gauges can actually tell you quite a lot more as well when you mix it, say, with the vertical speed indicator, which I'll go through now. Vertical speed indicator basically is an indication of the pitch of your plane. When it's at 0 like it is now, we are straight and level. We are not pitched up and we are not pitched down. This is a really crucial instrument for almost sort of not only telling you the pitch of your aircraft if you're going up or down, but you can actually gauge how fast you go up and down. Each of these 510 is 500 feet, 1,000 feet, 1,500. Obviously, you know, when you're ascending or descending, you want to be doing it at a safe speed. The higher this number goes, the sort of more pitched up you are going, and obviously then combine it with the airspeed indicator, you need the speed to be able to safely get up to. And really, if you're traveling down and you're at 1,000 feet per minute, your airspeed will go up. And when you look at these two indicators together, if you can't see out the window, it is actually a good indication if you are traveling at a safe speed, like ascending or descending or at level flight. Now, this instrument here is the altimeter, and again, another crucial instrument telling you how high you are in barometric pressure. So the world, it's based on the sea level, which is 0, and then depending where you are off that level will depend on the altimeter of your plane. So basically, it tells you exactly where you are in the height of the world. A lot of planes have a safe cruising speed or a safe sort of altitude at which they operate at. And knowing your sort of ceiling height for your plane you're flying is crucial. Also knowing that the higher you go, the less oxygen there is. And so, like, humans can't really breathe in an unpressurized plane like this one is above 13,000 for more than a few minutes, because once you do, you start getting deprived of oxygen, your decisions become sloppy, your reactions become slow, and you can actually pass out if you continue to stay above 13,000 for like 10 minutes. And basically, you know, it's goodbye birdie, you know, after that. In a pressurized aircraft, obviously, you can go higher, but knowing the ceiling height is crucial. And the altimeter basically tells you how high you are. This sort of attitude indicator it's got a horizon line, which is the white here. This represents the wings of your plane, and this is a really crucial for banking. Each of these indicates the wing, sort of how you want it to be leveled, but the blue represents the sky, the brown or the orange represents the ground, and this is a really good indication of, again, kind of like your pitch, but you know, of your wings level as well. With when you match the orange to the white, you know you're flying straight and level, and if it's slightly off, then you know you're banked a little bit, and it you know, you might want to be able to course correct it. It's also great with these little lines here for when you're descending or ascending, when you're coming into the runway or you take it off, exactly sort of the degree of angle of pitch that you are. And when you combine it with the turn coordinator down here, this basically again is a confirmation if you're flying straight and level, or if these wings here, they tilted down or up, if you are actually, you know, banked to the left or right. But basically with this turn coordinator, you'll use this when turning left or right. When you're banking, you'll coordinate your turns to not exceed this white line or this white line, basically because there is an angle of attack to which each plane can efficiently turn at, and if you exceed it, you could actually put yourself into a spiral downward pitch, which, you know, is kind of like a reverse stall, because obviously you're not stalling, but you're spiraling down out of control and you have to recover. And this turn coordinator here will make sure that you don't do that. The final sixth instrument of the big six is the compass, and of course, you know, it's a radial compass which has degrees, and you basically, you know, turn to your heading. It's got a 360 degree dial, and you use it to basically which way are you pointing. And when you basically glance at all 6 of these instruments in one go, you can actually depict yourself in a 3D environment. How high you are, how fast you're traveling, are you pitched up, pitched down, wings level, how fast you're going, and where you are in the world. And this can be useful, like in this plane, the heading bug for the autopilot is used in combination with this. Now, this is kind of the 7th one we'll talk about. It's basically a VOR indicator, but also uses a glide slope for when you're coming into land. But basically, the way this works, the VOR stands for VHF Omnidirectional Instrument. And it's based on the pings that a VOR beacon gives out. There are thousands, hundreds of thousands of VOR beacons, each with a frequency which radiates this ping in all directions. And your plane hooks onto that frequency. You tune it in here, and then it will hook on, and you can then queue up the this white line here will move left and right, and when you've got it absolutely straight, you are fixed on that beacon, that frequency that's pinging out. Your plane receives that signal and tells you exactly which heading you need to be heading in order to go direct that VOR to the straightest line. And then what you'll do is you'll look at the number here at the top, which is 24, and then you'll come in and you'll dial in 24 for your heading, and then when you flick on your autopilot, or if you do it manually, you know exactly what heading to be aiming for here with the orange line for your direction to that VOR beacon. And it's basically a form of navigation. It's like a manual form of navigation. Planes like airliners, they have FMCs with the waypoints, which aren't the same as a VOR beacon, but basically operate in the same fashion. You go from waypoint to waypoint, the FMC calculates and points the plane in the right direction. You just manage the system. But in a general aviation aircraft or older planes, you have to do this manually. You have to tune in the frequency, you have to set the radial, and you have to point the plane in the right direction. So there is a maximum range of a VOR beacon, but each plane as well will have a different sort of ability to pick it up from different distances. So really, when you're flight planning, you really kind of have to know your plane's ability to pick up a frequency, because otherwise, once you get to a VOR, you are, as the pilot in command, then assigned to direct the plane to the next VOR. And if it's too far away, how do you know which way to go? Unless you've got a heading in which you can tune in on the compass, you won't have a clue which way to turn if the VOR beacon is out of range, or if your plane's ability to pick that signal up isn't strong enough. So knowing the capabilities of your plane is so crucial in the safe operation of your plane. And that's basically it. Once you get used to sort of putting your head down here and not having any visual indication and literally flying by the instruments, you will become a better pilot. You will become a more confident pilot. And if shit goes wrong in the airliner, then you could actually, using these backup gauges that a lot of them have, you could fly the plane safely using your skills as an instrument rated pilot, land the plane, save the day, and get the girl or the guy, whatever the case may be. But that's basically it. That's your quick stop fire guide to the big six, to instruments on the aircraft. And again, these 6 main instruments here apply to every single plane. Every plane has an altimeter, has a attitude indicator, an airspeed gauge, some sort of vertical speed gauge, and turn coordinator, although that can be mixed in with your attitude indicator or your horizon indicator. And every plane has a compass. So once you learn these 6 instruments and you know them inside and out, you pretty much can fly any plane. Anyway, Thank you so much for watching this quick fire sort of guide on how to read instruments. I'm going to set this plane up now for a quick flight around India. Don't forget, I give away 50 euros of SIM Market vouchers that you can spend on FLIGHTSIM add-ons at SIM Market every single month. And if you want to win those vouchers, all you have to be in with a chance to win is a subscriber to my channel, leave a comment down in any one of my P3D videos, and at the end of every single month I go live with a vlog. I announce the winner, you contact me through email, and I send your vouchers out to you. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care. Bye bye.